Hello, we're in the dark at the moment, but I'll wait for people to connect. I did say I was going to come live. I might turn the other light on so you can see me. Oh, look, absolutely flash not, but we're in, lockdown, so it really doesn't matter. And I did put a community post up basically asking if you guys had any questions to do with the twin flame path. And I'm here to answer any of your questions should you have them. Now, it won't be directly related to obviously, what's going on with you, da 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 da. We'll do that at the end. I can potentially go inside and I can answer some questions. But for those of you that are stuck on the path, I had put a community post up and basically asked, where you're hitting snags, what things synchronistically are you looking at, where you're getting a bit confused. Hi everyone, how are we all doing in lockdown? Are we enjoying it? Are we trying to keep positive? I mean, I have been extremely productive, only from a rational point of view that obviously if people are home, I need to prepare the home so I can do my lives. So we're getting ready for weather changes as well, and do expect that in astrology. Do definitely expect that in astrology, the unexpected. April, we're definitely going to be having Pluto going retrograde. You will find a lot of aspects, in April, pretty interesting connected to what's happening in the collective at the moment. Flashes of right with a gold tooth. Yeah. How you doing? Was just reading up on Saturn conjunction. Yeah, it's pretty much the whole year. But the energy of the conjunction that occurred in January, especially when you look back in astrology, it does link into each cycle time. There was always, a pandemic, there was change in society, and I'm hoping this isn't lagging. What else was going on? With the Aries energy, this is deemed, the new moon in Aries. It's where, like I mentioned, we've got to turn over a new leaf, and it's for those of you collectively as well. But most twin flames would have gone through deep purges over the last few years. So you guys synchronistically will be quite used to being at home. Other people around you potentially aren't used to it. But we are being guided to move into, it's almost like collective ascension. That's about the only way I can describe it. Collective ascension, watching the rat race and the shock when you're going through it. A lag on your end. It may be due to the fact I'm out the back. Tell me how it goes. If it's too laggy, I'll go inside. Morning, sweet. Yeah, it's been, I haven't been coming live in the evening, and I promised to do that. So here I am, I'm here. So what have we been doing to keep ourselves grounded? And the passion that we need to have for each other right now is pretty big. Patience as well for ignorance, because, we say ignorance is bliss, and some of us would have loved to have gone back to sleep, theoretically, from a spiritual point of view. It has been, but it does really, like, it depends on your perspective. A lot of it is detachment. It's very similar to the twin flame path. If we were to physically get a piece of chalk and actually draw a circle around us, that is the only area we have ever had control over. It's a bit like getting onto a really gnarly ride, which is part of Ascension, Morningdale. And, getting to the point where you can actually look at it and understand, look back in your life. Okay. Now, obviously, because it's, to do with something that is quite scary, we connect vibration into it. But look at it from a very basic layman's point, which is if you were to physically get a piece of chalk and draw a circle around you, that is all the area of your control. Thanks, Wait. I did my hair last night, and I've been doing the veranda pergola repairs, and my hair is a bit knotty. Anyway, so if you were physically to draw a piece of chalk around you, that is all you have control over. Anything outside of that, the more you focus on it, it's going to start triggering you. So you'll be looking at it going, oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if that happens? It's too early at the moment in it to actually look that far ahead. And it's been really unique because, especially my twin flame path with my twin, we do say that the feminines wake up first, etc. But what you do tend to find is when you are communicating with the masculine, their theory and their logic surrounding it is quite interesting. Because very much a lot of what he has taught me is about planning. Okay, so a lot of subjects in union has come up, and it's been to do with my ideal of planning, and it is the old way I was, but it always comes back. And part of that is very much he keeps trying to instate in me but if you make plans, they don't always come through. And on the masculine side of the fence, 9 times out of 10, they've had a lot of detachment about that, and they've come to a peaceful acceptance. Also, a little bit of disillusionment that when they do plan things, it falls to crap. So they don't attach their ego connected to it. They're very flexible with that energy. So masculines tend to relearn that you can make plans and that it's okay for them to fall through. But then you recollaborate and you look at where you're moving, but you have a goal and an intent, which they directly do. But a lot of feminines are needing to, at the moment, understand that they have been in a lot of the masculine energy. So to move back into maybe the nurturing side of things, maybe into the actual, because a lot of you, if you are single, which a lot of twins at the moment are, it's not forever, I promise you that. But where you are vibrationally, you will be getting houses ready, you're potentially looking after children, being concerned about your finances, etc. You must allocate a point in the day to move into your feminine energy, which is to nurture yourself, be it you're coloring your hair or, um, doing just something feminine, something that is creative, something that is nurturing and relaxing, but something very feminine to actually balance that out. And you'll tend to find you'll get more ailments on the left side of your body when you have the overactive masculine energy. So to actually balance it, there is breathing exercises you can do through the nose where you can actually alternate. And I know it sounds odd, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, give it a shot. But you needing to actually, balance that, because we have been in a lot of masculine energy, and that's even for feminines in union. Yes, because one thing that did come up for my clientele and for me, which I deem you more as family than clientele, is that especially with Libra being in Juno, it's almost like the feminines, if you are in a connection or if you are in a partnership or you're with your twin, almost reverting back to the masculine energy of, because people had let you down, that you can't be codependent. There's a difference between codependency and vulnerability. And that's really called upon on the journey, where the removal of the ego of that, so that you can be open to a masculine helping you. We need to get to that vibration. So what did Mark say? My last out of house. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people would have purged jobs and things to that degree. And you do tend to find when you are going through your awakening process, you will tend to have enough to survive. We definitely in February and March had a lot of energy that was depleted. It was very psychological. It's 12th house, which is definitely crown, which is connected to corona, crown energy. With the Jupiter energy making aspects, yes, it agitates it. With the Aries energy, yes, it agitates it. But again, it's fair-based frequency. Whatever this new beginning is we're moving into, for more at a very personal level, it will be depending on where the Chiron and Aries falls for you. And when you have situations arise, so Libran, for instance, does have it in their 7th house of marriages, contracts, partnerships. So, thinking that any new partner or previous occurrences that occurred are going to continue to occur, and needing to be too much in the masculine. So, for Librans in particular, you're really going to need to be open to the experience that know that it's not a fact, it's more a fair base frequency, and to be looking at that. But again, Aries, for instance, is their first house placement. Um, Independence and what that means, and allowing people potentially to help, and when they're triggered more so, they'll move into the energy of Libra, and need those connections, but communication's the key for Aries. But I'm here nevertheless to answer some of your questions. um, Somebody asked a question that was linking in with the energy when you sense the person's energy around you. Now, I must explain, we've got various twins. So we've got twins in the first, second, and third wave. When you're further back in the journey, you do have more of a journey to go. So it does very much depend on where you are in the journey. For me, I was only aware of it about 3 years ago. I've been a psychic medium probably since I was a child, and I've been developing it. So I didn't really have any ego connected to what this was. So, which was absolutely handy. The further into the journey you get, you start noticing synchronicities to the degree where the energy of that person continues to come back. And that can be quite unique as well. But then, how do I put it? It would be ill for a very, very newly aware twin who is further back in their journey, where they haven't had connections, where they haven't had experiences, to be telling them that you mustn't stop living, because every energy that comes into your life is meant to come into your life. Even if we feel the person's karmic, I had a few unique questions, and I did have a few inbox messages, and they were from twin flames thinking that potentially they may be with a karmic. You need to understand that your twin is flawed. Okay, there's no, how would I put it? And yes, twins can have addictions. Yes, twins can exhibit, toxic behavior. But again, it does come down to lessons for you to actually eliminate those things, and for you to step back and have courage to choose what is correct for you. And it is very, it's a crappiest time for these things to be happening. So, if you do have a twin who is dealing with addictions and things to that degree, 2017 and 18 was pretty heavy for that, because we had Chiron and Pisces. Stay hopeful, because with Aries in Chiron, the battle is different. So the way in which they're going to be dealing with these things is going to be different. It's from first house placement. So, it is achievable. And again, the more you tune into it from a perspective, and again, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a drug and alcohol therapist, but from experience, I can actually say the more you tune into the vibration like it's your job to sort, the worse you will be. The more you focus on what your safety is, what your nurturing is, where your power is, and start forcing that frequency into self, it balances you. And you have to trust to the point that the person has the energy, like you, to actually deal with that. Okay. Because yes, my twin was, and yes, he did, and yes, he's fine now. But it's the person's job to do that, not yours. But you have to be firm with that. But it's more for your side, not being firm on the person. Being firm on, how far you can go. It's almost like in my journey, there were many dark alleys, and I was like, I don't know if I can walk down this. And it was a bit like the frequency of Beauty and the Beast, or the Angel and the Devil. But we are the light and dark, so you've got to understand that we all have these vibrations inside us. But openly, both energies do see each other on the pedestal, openly. Much discussion has occurred between twin and I, and that has been articulated. So both energies do feel that. But while you react like a karmic, which is because you're scared to make a decision, because you're scared to make harsh decisions, or verbalize how you feel, because there's a consequence for an action, which 9 times out of 10, yes, there is. Detachment then will come and separation can occur. It's only temporary. You've got to look at the reality of situations, though. If you're finding a situation unmanageable, it's going to break up regardless. But it is very much the frequency that it is temporary, but it's more to do the soul healing. Because you benefit not each other if you are blocked. You know, if you're blocked and you're fighting or you're walking on eggshells, there's more work to be done. And don't be angry at yourself for that. Don't feel, oh gosh, and don't connect to time. The more you connect to time, and I hate using the word don't, more, the further into it you get, you will not get triggered by separation. You will not get triggered by the inability for this to be a success. You will not get triggered by them being with people separate to you if you're separate. Simply because you know you would want them to choose you for you and it not to be a competition, for it to be completely clear. So you would want that to occur for a surety in the human being's mind. You won't need to block though, Dal, because see, blocking from a spiritual point of view, more to do the work on yourself, yes, but blocking is only delaying. Because if you have work, you being a twin means those lessons will come from other people. So it can't be hidden from. It's one human being. It's the shadow aspect of who we are. So what I have found over 20-something years of the journey is I could run from that person, but I was actually running from myself because those trigger points would come up with other people. So it's not directly just the person. It is the energy inside of you. So those blockages still reside inside you, and they're going to, in a karmic lesson, come through in other people. And then if you're alone and you're in a hermit mode, permanently avoiding it, avoiding relationships, avoiding connections, you're just delaying the healing that's to be. So it sort of goes that way. Thanks so much. Yeah, so you do come to a resolve. And I mean, people have asked me how I come to terms with the karmic and betrayals. The one thing that helped me is because I did not want to be an option. I also unconditionally loved that if that human being was happy, who was I to say that I knew better for that human being? Because I knew what was right for me. So that was my role. Again, picture the chalk whenever you're getting triggered and draw a circle mentally in your mind around your body. And then picture your twin and draw a circle around that human being. And when you're looking at it, potentially to understand, sometimes you need to look at it from their perspective. So that's how a lot of my healing came about. I would step back and I would go, okay, look at it from your point of view and embrace that, because that's your healing, right? And then when it gets too much, thanks, Stell, you then look, when you're ready to, you look on the other side and you picture how they feel. And so not just how they feel, why maybe they may have been doing the things that they did, so that you can reach closure in your mind. Another thing is when you are trying to gain peace and you're seeking an apology, trust me, some betrayals are sorry I ain't going to cut it. So the key is, if you are to reconcile with a human being, whoever that may be on the planet, unless you can reach a peaceful place, union will not work. You don't want to be getting in a punching ring. So you're going to have to do that work solely. Clarity, yes. And trust me, with reunion, yes, this tongue had a whiplashing of my understanding, but it wasn't from a toxic point of view. It was from a perspective point of view. Of actually, when I did look at it, I was not listening. So the warnings were there. I was entertaining a relationship with the broken person, and that was my responsibility. But you only see that on the other side of the fence. And he also was entertaining a relationship with me, a broken person. You can't have a healthy relationship with two broken people because we all collectively are broken. So it's very much throughout our lives our responsibility to do that work. That's why jumping relationships is unhealthy. Because there's a time frame of healing. There's no, okay, well the person's broken up, so therefore it's fair game. It's not that simple. There's emotions involved. There's healing. There's the past. There could be finances. And again, there are a few readers on YouTube that mention that you need to check if your twin is coming correct at a financial level. And I dare to say that's wrong because your role is not to be codependent. So what happens in their financial domain has no concern for you. Because if you have all the things checked off your checklist to remove codependency, it's not going to affect you. It's their journey. It's a very different way of having a connection. It's the oddest connection you will ever have, because any other connection, it's very much cemented into the white picket fence, get married, have children, you're protecting me. Whereas the frequency, when you do get into TF connections, it's very singular. It's very monogamous slash independent. It's the strangest thing. I can't explain it. It's like two best friends coinciding or coexisting, sharing of opinions, but not suppressing each other with opinions. So it's an exchange, which we can say that happens in other relationships, but I can absolutely say no, it doesn't. And the fierce opposition at times with opinions can be quite sharp. But the further into the journey, you find you can't lie. So you're pretty damn straight. You're like, no, this is how I see it. You get a bit feisty, right? You're not the same feminine. You're just bloody not. Yeah, you do need time, but you'll know when the time's right. I mean, sometimes 3 months is enough, but it depends on the person. And you'll find if they left you, and this is another thing, if your twin has left you and ended up with a karmic, the thing is that is not going to be successful because they have not had time to process you. Think about it that way. Yeah, if anything, I had empathy for the karmic because I was like, I don't think you know what you've just put yourself into. Hurt people hurt people. So while I was sitting back, drinking my green tea, meditating, purging on the floor, having my, feeling sorry for myself at times. So you can ask Jen, Luciana, Giggle, Mark. I would go from bounce of pissing myself laughing at the amusement of life and healing. And of complete clarity of this is so silly. This is inevitable. Like, just sit back, don't fight it. If the person chooses to go love and light, humbly respect that factor, which I did. And I shifted all my energy 100% onto myself, which is my responsibility. There was a moment where I felt that I was going to run. And I was like, right, am I going to run? And I went, sit in the fire, walk into the fire. Because all of that already lives inside you. And it wasn't just one person. It was a lifetime of letdowns. It was a lifetime of hurdles, And you regress all the way back to childhood. So inner child wounds held to the air big time. You go back and you deal with the inner child wounds. Then you're looking at your finances. You're looking at where your codependency energy is. 100%. During what time? I mean, we've been in union now for a while. But yeah, I mean, there was a time where that was off the table for me in separation simply because I was very bruised. I was very wounded. So that to me was just gross with any human being. And I really did have a lot of wounds. So I really had to dig deep. Entertained energy, yes. But I was also very cautious because I didn't want to hurt anyone, because I was really healing. So my vessel became my temple, and that was for me to treat it that way. We can't get salty at other people when we're treating our body like it's a rubbish dump. So when you transfer it to, hang on, have I potentially been, and it's not intentionally you're reacting like a karmic. It's more that you might have accidentally sent that because you were too giving. And the too giving energy sometimes does come across as appeasing and not having a standard. And it's not that feminines don't have standards. We actually do. But the empath energy sometimes does come through very too giving, which in their mind was a bit like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Do you lack self-esteem? Which it wasn't that I lacked self-esteem. The boundaries were sending mixed messages. Because of the too giving, people can take you accidentally for granted. And the art of appreciation is you don't know what you got till it's gone, which was another amusement factor I had in my mind. Any questions? While I'm drinking my watery hot chocolate. Any questions? So the sense of the person being there is after detachment. And as I mentioned, when you're really detached and you're like, sod this, you'll know when that comes. It's like never, ever, ever again. That's when you get the energy because you're getting the frequency and it feels very heavy, like, it is ascension symptoms, but it's like psychic attack. Blow the energy out, disconnect and tune into something else because it helps them ascend. Who do I interact with in 5D? Oh, God. What, from a guide perspective? From a guide's perspective? You got a question above in comments. Would you deem yourself, Matt, as the masculine or feminine? Which it doesn't really matter. Collectively at the moment, now my sister's messaging. I have read it. Don't stress about the boundaries. And look, what sort? 1 minute. I'll just answer Matt's first. Masculine. Okay. It won't matter whether you're masculine or feminine. When there is the separation. Right now, what we're going through collectively, with the masculine energy, the Jupiter energy is there. So there's a lot of self-discovery. And a lot of times when you, at an empathic level, are looking at it and going, why is this person ditching me? Why aren't they showing up? Why aren't they answering? However that be, because masculine and feminine are runners at the same time. What will happen is, right now, collectively, wherever we are, we're meant to be where we're meant to be. We're also not just in the twin flame path, we're also holding energy for the collective. It's going to be fast paced once everything starts moving. Things are settling. Why am I feeling the energy of a karmic around that person? The person doesn't even have to be with a karmic partner, but the healing can also be more a spiritual healing. Do you know what I'm talking about, Matt? But it is happening collectively. So, those of you that are getting upset thinking, gosh, in this doomsday situation, how dare they not turn up? I'm not making the coronavirus small. She is with a karmic. Okay. So if she's with a karmic, who do you have on your mind right now? What spiritual blockage do you have of the past? Because it's dually equal. And this is what I've found. When I have had twin in a karmic relationship, or I've been in one, be it soulmate or karmic, it's all karmic really because we're spiritually learning. So for those of you that are cross watchers, if you're karmic thinking, Yildiz, I don't like her. Karmic energy is something that lives inside of us. It's a spiritual lesson, so to speak. It's something that's got to be resolved. So what I have found is if you have a twin who's in a karmic relationship, feminine or masculine, and you are waiting, that's part of the blockage. You mustn't wait. You need to shift all the energy back onto yourself and don't get triggered. And I know it sounds crazy. It's a bit like the 40 days no contact. It is completely switch off and switch into you. Although, if you emotionally are tuning into or haven't completely healed from a past tense connection, that's the blockage. As soon as you deal with that, it'll start moving. I hope that helps. Now, as for the previous question, so KR, you had a question? What did you want to know, KR? No question? What would you like to know, Del? Telling you the amount of notifications of what's happening. I do energetically feel I have been keeping an eye on the media. I've been looking at the astrology. Don't get triggered in April. That's all I'll say. I don't want to hear anything about them through mutual friends. That's fair enough. It also does depend on, it's not necessarily, yeah, no, that's perfectly normal. Because when you do choose to get to a place where it's actually where you're physically saying, hey, I'm focusing on myself. I don't want to hear it. What's going on their side is theirs. And it's healthy boundaries as well. So it's, look, don't want to hear about it. But you just got to be mindful. If you do have mutual friends, they will be feeding info back. So sometimes it can be where you need to actually cut. May I ask a correct question? What do you need to know? During this interesting time, and it's so unique because I was looking at I need to get into country astrology because each country has its own astrological chart. Yes, it is. but you also hold yourself on a higher vibration. So you'll get to a place where you will be content, be it with or without. So it won't trigger you as much. You will have a lot of triggers to move through in union. I will tell you that much. You just need to check why, though. If it's because there are options, that's concerning. That's okay, sweet. Yeah, no, it's perfectly normal. Just if you're choosing that, trust your soul process. Your soul and your guides are bringing up the energy as it needs to. And if it's what's coming up, I very much detached. I had a lot of people that were telling me things, and I'd be like, look, it's none of my business. I'm not interested. Hi, Stefan. How are you, my friend? Yeah, just be cautious about yeah, if you got go-to people, cut it off. Cut it off. Move forward. When you're choosing a path, pick a path. You keep doors open, it's going to bugger your journey up. Pick a bloody path. I'm telling you, it comes back. Don't do it to yourself. If we are detached, then what are they feeling? But you're not detached if you're worried about what they're thinking. It moves their energy. It feels strange to them. Because it will feel just before you reach union with, you'll reach union with self. What you'll find is, how do I explain it? With the detached energy, let me reread that. I'll comment on psychic attack in a minute. No. You won't feel unsettled. You will feel completely like nothing matters. Nothing matters at all. It's all sweet. It's all good in the hood. You will feel quite detached, quite nonchalant. Yeah. Psychic attacks, yes, no, but they're towards just before reunion. So breathe the energy out and tune out. So the psychic attacks from counterpart energy will more come in when they're coming through in a frequency because they're ascending. It means they're going through ascension symptoms. And it can be panicked energy. It'll come on very heavily out of nowhere. I would hang washing out and it'd come out of nowhere. So what I was doing for my own ascension and I became iron deficient. I had a lot of ascension symptoms. It was fatiguing me, debilitating. I would breathe in and I would blow out. And I would almost very similar to what psychics say to energies that come in that we don't want to deal with. Nope. Go. You can, or just shift it. I know you have this. I know you can handle it. And just keep doing that. Okay, so career, job. I am getting prepared to go back to work, guidance, place, and government position. You probably, okay, Scorpio. It's only because I know your zodiac sign. Okay. If you do, I do feel a position, yes, will come up, especially considering you're in Australia, especially since there are different ways we are dealing with this direct situation. It will be mayhem, though. So you need to anchor your energy in and be aware of how some of those triggers will come up. But I am feeling yes. There will be a slight delay, though. Everyone's messaging me. I'm seeing more telemarketing energy within it, obviously because of the dynamic. Yes, it is quite common to hear songs. You'll hear a lot of songs. You will feel quite relaxed. You will just be really shifting the energy onto yourself. Advice on how to detach. Well, it's pretty much don't freak out. I actually understand. Okay, it's kind of odd when we talk about detach. It's like, what does that mean? Detach means stop freaking out like it's over. It's you're just living your life. So just live your life. Basically, pour all your energy into anything that comes up for you. Make plans. Don't stop making plans for your life. It's many twins don't go for a job or don't move and they want to. Don't do that. Didn't matter where I was. It was always okay. So stop doing those things, and just be very relaxed. Like I say to YouTube, grab a pina colada and enjoy your holiday. You really have to get into that mindset because whatever is meant for you, universe will always give you. So have faith in universe. When have you ever been let down theoretically? We've had hard lessons, yes, but you've always got back on an even keel, so to speak. Yeah, that's quite common too, DNA. It's because you're very focused on yourself, which means you're in alignment with detachment. Yeah, just breathe the energy out when you do get the psychic attacks coming through. Let me see if I've missed anything. Do the number synchronicities come again? More towards the end. What you'll find is when you're seeing them, you're training yourself. It's like you're training yourself to be a psychic medium, but it's more to understand the numbers. Now, when you're seeing the numbers, they don't always relate to twin. Sometimes they can be directly connected to something that you're going through. So you've got to decipher between what that is. It's not always to do with twin. So always check back with self. When you're watching twin flame videos, once you've looked at it and you're looking at counterpart energy, go back again and listen to the video again and then look at it from your masculine and feminine, so from your employment and your emotion point of view. And it's like a healing for yourself. But with the numbers, once you start understanding, you're actually choosing to look outside of yourself for the answers because you're training yourself to um, gain a relationship back with your gut. You know, your gut has never betrayed you, and your gut can't completely protect you from adversity. So you need to actually make peace with your gut. That's one thing where we all really muck up. We get this ego connected to it that if we'd only known, we don't need to know everything. It's not our job to govern another human being. It's the ego that tells you to do that so that you don't get hurt. But in theory, if you actually understand your gut serves you for what you need it for, not to control individuals, you're going to have a better relationship with your gut, and therefore your intuition and the number synchronicities won't be necessary because you'll always pause. You'll gain the information, you'll take it on board, and you'll sit with it, which is very, very intuitive. It's moving into trusting the empath, psychic, intuitive. So the numbers will then change to the 1-400. Here and there you'll see them, but they won't be bombardment of it. You'll see it more maybe if you're doing a card reading or if there's if there's a big collective sign when I'm tuning in as a medium, but I don't see them the way I used to because I detached from it and I was trusting my instincts and my psychic gift and I was in detachment. Oh my gosh, how very generous of you. Long time no see, lady. I hope you're taking care. How are both you and your twin doll? You're a dag. No, it's part of getting ready for union, Tammy. It's very, very normal. Yeah, so it's basically telling you that when you're saying the 1-400, it's telling you you're in alignment, you're on the right path, keep going, you're on the right track. Wow, congratulations. Are you all safe? Are you all safe where you are? Polo. I'm on YouTube, so come decent.
I am decent. Very decent. See, even pants. Moving up in the world.
Moving up in the world.
It's only because it's cold.
Of course it's cold.
I wouldn't be wearing pants.
Shh. Any other questions? Hi, Netherlands. Warm welcome. How many of my clan are in here? It's good to hear. "500 miles away from New York. You keep safe. On lockdown in Scotland." So what are we doing? Left 3 weeks ago. Okay. So what are we doing to keep ourselves busy?
Reading.
My daughter's reading.
A book about the world flooding. It's pretty dirty.
I got to do a reading about teens soon. It's going to be interesting. Any other questions?
I do. Can I have a psychic reading? I never asked.
Shh, I did not ask you to come out here. This is not going to work between you and I. I have made an agreement with my daughter and she still continues to ignore
I'll be back. I'll go get my phone and connect to your Facebook Live so I can talk.
Don't be walking through with that, thank you. It's a wood floor. God help me. So she reckons she's going to stalk the channel. We should just tune out. Quarantined 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I was thinking about that today, actually. Even from a psychic point of view, I was actually thinking about, like, obviously in different cultures, we have different things. I know one thing, especially when I've been doing channelings for energies and homes, sometimes the energy has been so heavy that I've actually had to use different culture belief systems to deal with the energies. One was jinn removal. I've used meditation and different things, and I will be having Lysiana on the channel later to do remote healing. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that she does to actually deal with energy and clearing homes, etc. Yildiz, I went from no job to 3 jobs and free rent where I am, and trust the process. Everything happens for a reason. You'll give Shanice a psychic reading.
Is that lady that I like?
No, Mark said he'll give you a psychic reading.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. So a big shout out to Sula, because I know she's hiding in the background. I haven't emailed you because I've been flat chat, but I do love you. And Shanice wants to say she loves you too.
She's my favourite out of everyone you talk to other than
There
Shelley.
you go. Apparently, Sula, you're her favourite.
Other than Shelley.
I have a lovely lady that is like family. We read each other.
I've never talked to her, but she's
been,
like a puzzle.
She's been very generous. She books a reading and we ended up talking for hours. It's a big shout out to Sula. Hope she's safe.
I can't find your...
You started your garden this weekend. I'll have to post some photos. I have my vegetables in the garden. My twin thinks I'm crazy, but he thinks it's funny. I am, but teenager fails to listen. Teenager thinks that this is not real. I think it's from a psychological point of view, trying to keep grounded.
Can I borrow $138?
So I have my vegetable garden. I've started creating my own indoor greenhouse. Okay. And my divine... Go for gold, Stefan. What would you like to know? What would you like to know? I have felt quite fatigued the last few days. Oh, good luck with that. I have been thinking of some things to assist with teens. Good night, DNA. Go for gold. Stefan, what did you want to know also? Meditation. Get her to do some art or something that is, sometimes when we go meditate, it seems to, sometimes for them, it can seem a bit cliche. So if it's a creative energy, it tunes them out and it tunes them into something else, which is good night. So it's just a different way of doing it to help them tune out of what's going on. Be it a movie, be it music, be it something at a physical level or a creative level. It's just going to tune their energy into something else other than that. Otherwise, they'll go through the house screaming at you like my teenager does.
No.
Can't handle lockdown. I even gave her a job to do. Anyway, what was the question? It's all about detachment, I'm telling you. You will find the emotions will subside when you have dug right into that dark closet and you pull them back up. There has been a purge at a collective level, more so from a heart chakra basis. Yes. Garlic and chili. If you boil them and you pour it into the can, if you spray the plants, it does get rid of it. Eggshells as well, underneath the plants. Bugs don't like climbing over those, so those are some things you can use. Okay, was hit a massive blast migraine last night? Yes, please. I have been noticing lately the ringing in the ears have been really spiking, but more so from a psychic perspective. If you're thinking something, it gives you the, idea of listen. But the migraines as well, it will be linking into the Pisces energy. There has been a lot of upgrades with that energy, a lot of crown chakra going on. So yes, it can come through that way. Definitely when you're if it's the front, it's different. The top and the front is different. If it's the front, you're tuning in too much. So you can actually tap it. You can use crystals, and again, you'll become sensitive to light, obviously, because you're tuning in. But if it's the top, that's different. That's crown activation. But if it's the third eye, it's an egoic purge. I hope that helps. But again, not from a medical point of view. 1,000-piece puzzle to go for. Yes, I have been seeing swans too lately. What's the few things I've been seeing? Swans. Definitely caution with fertility. That's really been coming up. Your hairdressing job has almost stopped. Could you do one-on-one sessions? Giggle brought this up the other day. You have to wear a gas mask. One minute. I'm not going to do it on camera. This feels so good. YouTube be playing silly buggers with us. Spiders, money. Money, money, money. I mean, it will all directly connect to whatever is going on in your life at the moment. Yes, spiders have been coming, but it's also webs we weave, so to speak. So it can be quite a good omen when it does come to getting yourself out of a situation where you can become creative and get to a place where you're trying to weave a new world, so to speak. So it can be positive as well. Yeah, migraines and sinuses. Also, do be mindful with those peaking at the moment, it is connecting into weather. So pay attention to the weather at the moment because that's going to start amping up. Yeah, it has been. Yeah. I do know separately there will be the actual nursing community that will continue, nursing homes and things to that degree. So you could potentially apply for a temporary job in a nursing home. Obviously, you'll go through the correct protocol, which will be using, your PPE, and they'll do what they can to protect obviously the elderly, but they'll still continue to need it. And in nursing homes and things to that degree, they do actually get hairdressers coming in. They will need those services still, but you could also do something to that degree. But yeah, I do feel psychically that although obviously just from the astrology, I do feel April will be really unique. Like I said, don't get triggered what's happening in the media. After that, you will find things will start shifting differently when the nodes shift in March. We're also then going to have the eclipses ending that last karmic cycle out, and then moving over to the Gemini and Sagittarius energy. So I do feel, moving towards June, it'll still be plateauing down, I would say, but probably spiking in April and then spiking down after the nodes move and the eclipses end. The dragons will link to China. Yeah, just an idea anyway. What happened in the astral travel? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh. I have a lot of people that say they have dreams about me and have astral energies. I must be a very busy person. Yeah, have a go anyway, Chris. See how you go with that. Any other questions while I'm here? Oh, you're seeing the door now. The door is open. Remember, both twins are always linked. Both twins are always linked. So the subconscious mind is linking in with the belief system as well. So the perch can come on your side too. I know from a spiritual point of view, who was I talking to the other day? There is an energy quite down that I do feel at a collective level we're going to be diving into. And whenever it starts opening up, you sense it. It's gnarly, okay? It's something heavy. Subconsciously, it's the same thing because water's behind that door. Can also be fair base frequency of what is coming, which again, get the chalk, circle it around yourself. That's all you can control. And think of a Ferris wheel or a roller coaster. It's scary. It's going to be a ride, but it will stop. And you'll get on another ride. So it's a journey. So you've got to look at it from that perspective. But whatever's behind that door, it may be because you're thinking about it too much. You're tuning into it during the day and trying to decipher it like a Scorpio. Remember, it's not, if it's linked to you, it could be a blockage you have. If it's not and it's theirs, you need to tune all your energy into it, especially before bed. If you're thinking about it during the day, it's going to go with you to bed. And it's going to cause issues. Yeah, I've been having odd dreams. They've been with odd people too. Well, that's positive if the light's coming through it, which is what I saw before. Well, that's a positive omen because it means rebirth, star. If you feel it's the right time, get to it. Definitely with the nodes moving into Gemini, it is all about technology. Obviously, at a government level, you'll find that the collective will be moving into new ways of foreign trade, new ways of, how would I say it, new quality systems with the nodes being in Gemini. New ways we're going to socialize, commute, transport. So transport will come up big time. Quality systems linked with that, the growth, how it was in the past versus how it's going to be moving forward. A lot of that will be updated. Science will be hot stuff. Technology, science. Also, you will notice in the collective, especially since we have 6 eclipses this year, natural disasters and things to that degree. So, yeah. I'm having a behind the camera. Anyway, any questions? Any other questions? In the old days, I just used to get on here, but YouTube be censoring things. It's nothing illicit, stressless. I'm not that interesting. You want a song chosen for you? Let me think. Yeah. it's weird. I don't want your money, honey. I want your love. There you go, Antonella. That's a unique one. Oh. Yeah, 100%. Because basically, what you'll find is for union, that's for you, Tammy. Okay, it all depends on where you are spiritually. If you have come to terms with your past, if you're not in a karmic relationship, if you are focused in on your life, if you've made peace with things and you're just very, doing your own thing, you're in alignment for it and it will come. If you've ticked off all the boxes and you feel that your blockages have been worked on, yeah, 100% alignment. You'll synchronistically see things too, energetically. Yeah, well, when we're 3D and we're doing 3D things, we do tend to get quite blocked. Thanks, KR. You'd love a song. Oh. What were you wanting to do at Christmas? That's a weird one. Mariah Carey. This is so unique, and I'm telling you, for a lot of twins, I do feel major happenings, major movements by June, July. Major movements. Now, I'm not saying they're not coming in before that. You will find with this energy coming through at the moment, a lot of the movement is happening between now and July, where a lot of movement's happening. You'll also find that during Juno retrograde and Juno direct, that's when a lot of communication comes in. That's what I noticed. A lot of ins and outs of karmic relationships and into TFs and, realignments, so to speak. Masculines with the Jupiter energy definitely are self-discovery energy, but coming home to themselves, which is a lot of what feminine did last year and what you're doing now. You're finalising it now. So those of you who I deem the ones that are going into union next, we'll call you first wavers. You guys are coming to terms with everything. It's been, some of you, it's been like crickets. Others of you, it's been maybe communication here and there. Again, just if it triggers you, there's work. So reshift your energy. If you hear from them and it's great, and then just shift all your energy back on. So you're detaching from the outcome. You're like, cool, nice to hear from you. Get back to business. So I don't want a lot for Christmas. That came up, but I'm hearing more, not so much the song, but more to do with June, July, because Christmas in July, that kind of as a message, my guides tend to show me that kind of link is there. There you go. So that's the correlating link. There you go. Yeah, so this is when the energy seems to be coming through. Yeah. Good old Mariah Carey. Anyway, if you are wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link below. Again, in the community tab, if you do place any kind of questions you have linking in with the twin flame journey, I'll come to you like this and I will answer some of your questions again. STF. Yeah, many of them are dull. I'd say 90%. That's okay. Yeah, many of them are. So it's not so much that, our ego can connect and it can say, hey, Well, if they're awake, where's movement? You don't want the movement if the person has things they're dealing with. And you'll notice things that are unfinished on your side. That's potentially why movement's not occurring. So, especially since we're in lockdown. And it is to help the detachment process. We are supposed to be in detachment, which is non-codependent. It's having a happy life. Even in the most adverse situations, it is a physical choice. We physically choose every day to actually choose to find happiness. I would find happiness in the most basic, simplistic things, but it was so peaceful. And I would look at other people going to the pub and going out to dinner, and I would have a beautiful vegetarian meal with herbal tea. Yes, on the odd occasion, I would have a drink, but very, very odd. I had my vegetable garden, and it was more to do with meditation. It was more to do with anchoring my energy in. It was being productive. It was also taking away from needing to, because I was alone, having things go bad in the refrigerator, having fresh things that I could take from the garden and just make myself a meal. And I was completely eating organic food. So I would have my house clearing in the morning, meditation exercise. I would exercise morning and night, which was keeping me incredibly busy, pouring all my energy into my career, enjoying my quality time, and really just, talking to spiritual, like-minded people. All of them do know. It's a matter of them energetically being open to, are we ready to dive in deep? Do you need to know anything right at the moment? I'm not feeling any bad energy. I'm feeling the, how do I explain it? What's coming through for you, Giggle? You're almost there. It's more the energy of, it's like I'm feeling it through in the solar and the sacral chakra, but it's like this gut instinct frequency. It's like you feel very settled and then it's spiking. It's like you're trying to get direct control over it. It's spiking and it's taking you back to that energy, and then it's simmering down again. You energetically are in alignment, but because you're getting the frequency coming in, it's directly affecting your alignment. So no sooner does it come in, you need to detach. And it's the only way you're going to help that accelerate to the point where the person energetically will get that. Yeah, so it's not your energy. It's directly counterpart's energy. So it has to be blown out, and you need to keep shifting. And it's like you're psychically detaching, but it's not from a point of view, and it's what worked for me. That's why I'm recommending people do this, is because at the end cycle, you can't, it's codependent to believe you can uplift a person. If you're going through deep ascension symptoms and you've elevated yourself, that end stage is required to have detachment and trust that that person has it. So the more it comes in, it's going to get heavier, heavier, heavier. It'll feel like a punching ring. Blow it out, shift your energy. And when you're going into the depression, you have to flick back out of it. You've got to get it to the point where it's 2.5. Don't get into the thinking, because what's happening is that person is tapping into your memory source and you're getting triggered because it's what they're thinking. Natasha. I have my DM blocked on Facebook. Should I unblock? Yeah, there should be no reason why you need to block. I mean, because they're going to find you anyway. It's like they know, and then it's almost like we're feeling we need to put the wall there so that we can control ourselves. We won't need to. If they need to say anything, they can say it, and you choose whether you do wish to communicate or not. It's the art of self-control. I don't know why, Natasha, but I'm feeling a shop. Now, I don't know why the shop is linked. I'm seeing a shop. It's an old style shop. Are you thinking about a business? This is a business I'm seeing for you. It's very old. That's okay. That's for you, Natasha. Oh, look, it doesn't even matter if you're not in the same town and they'll find you. Sometimes I was in different states. It didn't matter. Yeah, just, and then tune out. I felt my crown chakra pop freedom, man. Yeah, try not to run because the energy will follow you. Yeah, like an old business. The purge was coming through, guys, more from the collective because we're anchoring the energy in. So, maybe if a point in the day you can do which is a friend of mine, she's doing that from a Reiki point of view in kinesiology. It's to raise the heart chakra energy because heart chakra is very strong. So maybe if at 11:11 you do that each day and go into and you can do breathing to detach and to anchor the energy in, and it'll just heart center us. And just take your shoes off and do that, so you can anchor the energy in. You'll actually be helping the grid upgrade. Yeah, I'm seeing an old shop. I don't know why I'm seeing an old shop, but this is the first thing they want me to tell you is it looks like a very... yeah, I'm seeing an old shop. Hi, Lauren. How are you? You're living the dream? Want a cup of 30 via social media? Lauren is a girlfriend of mine in Perth, Western Australia, and I would always go to her house for a cup of 30. I've been telling the story about you leaving me out on the veranda and the dog almost attacking me. She's going to kill me now. Roller shutters coming down. I'm preparing the pergola for after when we can actually socialize. It's becoming enclosed. I have placed my summer vegetables in pots under the pergola, and it's going to be all tarped up. So I have an in-house pergola and an in-house hothouse for the vegetables. I'm seeing a physical shop. Now, this shop feels like it's A, connected to love interest, or B, it's connected to a place where you're going to open it or own it. This could even be a rental above it, but it feels an old shop in a unique street. It's like it feels like 1800 style shops. I'm seeing an 1800 style shop. Do you have a business in the family by any chance? Hello, Moonchild. How are you? I'm also seeing a grandfather clock for you, Natasha. I don't know why I'm seeing this grandfather clock. Do you own a grandfather clock? At the moment, 90% of them are being awake. No family business. Do you have an antique clock? I'm seeing you ending up running a business, but I do see, I'm also seeing like a grandfather clock. Was something given to you or inherited? This is coming energy then. This is a very old building. Trying to This is either a business you are going to work in or somewhere you're going to move. But I am saying, okay, this is the crazy thing. When messages come through, do not discount them. It can also be a timestamp of when this can come about. If you start seeing grandfather clocks in shops, or you just symbolically start seeing them everywhere, it's going to correlate with this shop. So pay attention to what happens in the next 6 months, because I'm actually seeing this shop being something of a business that you're going to have. This is either connected to a romantic interest or you, but it's this building I'm looking at. It feels two-story, but there is like shutters at the bottom, like there is a shop or an office at the bottom. This could even be a location you end up working. Yeah, but I'm definitely seeing the grandfather clock. It's kind of got a weird feeling to it. Any other questions for this cool night? Yeah, it's unique. Just be mindful that anything you take into the home, if it's secondhand, Natasha, I'm feeling please, please, please cleanse it. And also get tourmaline and onyx for your home. I'm dreaming about my twin a lot lately. Is it normal? Yeah, definitely. Um, it is. You have a time where you can't see their face, but then it does come through. There you go. Okay, so make sure you wear some tourmaline or onyx with you when you're going to work, and then just wash it with salt when you get home, and take it out of your pocket, so to speak. But just hold it in your pocket. Just energetically, it feels like it's protecting you, but you do have a guide around you that feels like a male energy. It's more, and it could be a grandfather. The clock could even be a watch that was given, but I'm just feeling the energy of spirits around you. So just be really mindful of, when you're traveling, and it's just because your crown and your third eye is quite open at the moment. Yeah, but the dreaming is quite normal on astral travel. But also get to a place where you wish to connect in the 3D. So sometimes we can move into the 5D quite a bit, believing that's all there is. But you will reach a purgatory point where you get a bit cross with the 5D, and you're like, no. Then you have this direct intent to be anchoring that energy into the 3D. What does it mean when you can finally clearly see their face in a dream? It means it's coming through more crystal, and it does mean it's moving. Okay, interesting. Now, did he have glasses, Natasha? Because that clock feels quite, is it gold? Is it a gold watch? Yeah, sometimes you can get that too, Diane. Yeah, okay. Is the anniversary of their passing coming up? Yeah, because I'm seeing glasses and I'm seeing his energy around you. He does try to communicate with you. So, if you're needing to talk to him and you're needing to understand what way to go, there you go. That can also be a time frame of movement for you too, as I mentioned before. I'm seeing that pocket for windows for people connecting and moving and things to happen. There you go. Now I'm seeing their energy around you, and I'm feeling a somber heart. Like there could be a time when you're crying and you're feeling very, and this is most recently. Um, And I'm also feeling it's in the bedroom, but you're not completely in bed. It's at the corner of the bed. And I'm sort of feeling the cupboard towards the bottom of the bed. This is the room I'm seeing it in now. This is either past tense or current tense, but I'm feeling it's more current tense. Could have been past tense, their bedroom, unsure. But I'm seeing a bedroom and I'm seeing, they're trying to communicate with you. They're wanting you to know that you just need to ask them for help and they will be there. So if you're confused or you're unsure, and I'm also seeing paperwork. I'm seeing a level of paperwork that needs to be done or is going to need to be done soon. I hope that helps. Any other questions before I run? Cyprus calling me. Yeah, but I am seeing Natasha paperwork. So there's family, man. Are we back again? Any other questions? You'll find spiritually speaking, both twins will have synchronistics happening, but it can be more to their family. But it's more the energy will come through where they're protecting. So, they can become our guides where they spiritually protect. But they're also, you do have a gift. Hi, Lisa. You do have a gift. You need to trust it a bit more, Natasha. So you will be able to actually, some of your answers, they will come through your dreams, but you need to ask and set that intention before you go to bed. And, keep it very straight to the point. But I'm finding it's going to develop more so if you don't even have it already. There seems to be this energy of a connection. Yeah, just don't stress about it. If they've blocked, it's like they're trying to get a direct reaction. So, if anything, do nothing. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, definitely. This year is big movement for that. But it's all going to depend on alignment as well. So, alignment is directly important. But I'm seeing lots of movement between now and July in a sense of communication, etc., movement. But you've got to check your side of the fence as well and see that everything's cleared up. As I mentioned before, Diane, yeah, 90% are in the awoken state, but dealing with the 3D. Most of this year and last year had been karmic related, connected to family, finances, and things to that degree, and trying to balance things out. But on that note, I am going to have to go because I am getting a family member from Europe calling and they don't stop till they get through. So I better go. And tomorrow, which will be your AM, PM in America, I will be coming to do the Zodiacs. And after those, I will then go into the twin flame updates as well. So I think I've got 3 Zodiac signs left. But feel free to join me then and you can ask more questions then. That's okay. And definitely in the community post, if you do post any questions, I can add them to the next conversational piece and I'll answer them and I'll try and do creative content on that. It was buffering because Europe was calling. Let me just see what you asked. Yeah, 90% of masculines are in their awoken state. So there is movement between now and July. So more communication coming in, more movement, but it always does directly depend on the work that you've done on your side of the fence. That's okay. I repeat it. I'm all good with that. Eat, pray, repeat. TF journeys like this, we're used to it. Okay, love and light, guys. If you do want a booking, I've still got the special up through the coronavirus. I've, left that there. Obviously, if you guys can afford it, you can go the full price. But I have left that there for you guys, till this kind of pans out at a compassion level. Love and light. Thank you, and feel free to comment after the video and in the community tab for any questions you want me to cover in creative content. So that if you do have stumbled upon something and you're thinking, God, what's this? I don't understand it. Thanks. Thank you so much. All of you take care.